Well, there's been a lot of Ryzen stuff. I'm gonna stop that. Hi there, it's Timmy Joe. There's been way too much Ryzen computer stuff on the daily here, so we are going to shift gears a little bit. We're gonna do a little unboxing video on the LG G6 because I'm smitten.
You'll be smitten.
And I think this is going to be a really cool phone. So go ahead and cue an intro. We're going to talk all about it. So we are here, and this be the phone. This is a LG G6 Black Edition, and I've been using a S6 Edge Plus for the better part of a year and a half. Before that, I actually had a G4. This is got some heft to it. Almost reminds me of an iPhone. But yeah, this looks really, really nice, and I'm fairly certain there's not going to be too much else here in the box. Nope. I'm sad that I have to switch to USB-C. I have 1,000 USB whatever minis. This is going to be a fast charger. No earphones in the box. I could have switched carriers and got a special promotion for pre-ordering with some Bluetooth earbuds that were LG branded, but instead I went with getting a sound bar. Let's go ahead and take that like plastic off. An LG sound bar that's supposed to be worth like $200 and some that I'm worried I'll never see, so I'll keep you apprised of that. But how do I take it off? Am I supposed to keep it on? Maybe I'm supposed to keep it on. Why the hell not keep it on for now? I'm gonna go ahead and pop my SIM in it, or do whatever I gotta do, and then maybe we'll just do a first boot and impressions on this thing. Cool. Woohoo. Well, thank you very much for checking this out. I'm gonna play around with it a little bit, come back, and I'll just give you some first impressions.
Hey, slow down.
Are you walking frisket, buddy?
Yeah.
Is it fun?
Yeah.
Oh, so fun. Are you cute? Brisket! Hi there, what's up? So, I don't know if you can notice, you're actually watching me on the standard focal length lens on the LG G6. I've had a few hours to play with this puppy, and I figured let's jump right in and see how she looks compared to I've been using this as a studio camera for a while now. I don't know if you've noticed, but I spent you know, a long time using expensive camera, and I figured why not sell the expensive cameras and put the money into funding my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So the phone's really been, you know, a saving grace because it's got such decent quality, you know, and now I've got two options, so we're gonna see how it works out. But this standard focal length, it has to be a lot further away from me to get me into frame, even with image stabilization turned off. But it makes sense because it has a wide angle on it as well. Both there's 13 megapixels. It's a 71-degree lens on the standard and a 125-degree lens on the wide. There's no image stabilization, and it's only it's a 2.4 aperture on the wide, but a 1.8 on the standard. So this has a 1.82. It just means you let a lot of light in to take good shots. So that's pretty cool. We'll go ahead and we'll switch over to the wide angle. You can see what I mean. Holy geez, see? Framed very well anyways. But so yeah, there's versatility here. If I'm taking, you know, shots of a computer case or something like that, I can really get a wide angle inside. You know, I can take some pretty cool photos. It's almost like having a GoPro built into your phone. And this thing's waterproof, so you know there's no worry about weather and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. Differences between this and the LG G6. Well, let's put this back in place and I can show you a few things, and then we'll get this video over with, because it's not an in-depth review by any means. So, how it look much better, worse on the LG? I don't know. We'll talk about it later. But I do want to go over a few things. Number one, the aspect ratio on this is now a 2:1. So it's like 2 squares put together, and that makes it easier to hold in the hand, but I find it's actually harder to type on. Now that might change once I get a case. Even this phone, like, I like wide phones because I got big hands and to type on it, but the Google Voice is getting so good these days anyways. I use that most of the time for text messages and stuff anyways, and this has got Google Assistant, so I'll get to play around with that, so that's pretty cool. Other than that, I really didn't like how out of the box it had no app drawer. It was like an iPhone. All my apps were on the screen, and then I'm like, how do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this? So I look it up on the internet, and when I look in the settings, it's not there. Like, there's different launchers basically that are supposed to come on the phone, and the one with the app drawer wasn't there. It did, however, automatically download it once, you know, things got flowing and LG updates and stuff like that hit into this. So I was like about to put on like the Pixel launcher or something like that. But the fingerprint scanner is stupid fast, and you know, it's got a really nice screen. It's very black. I got this black theme on it. It looks really nice, and I'm gonna have some fun playing around with it and seeing if it stacks up. I'm really excited for a sunny day to actually get some nice pictures. It's gray as hell outside right now. Initial impressions are very good on the LG G6. I just gotta say, I'm a little underwhelmed, because if you've bought a smartphone in the last 2 years, especially a very high-end one, not a whole lot's changed, and the gimmicks are what sells the phone now, like the bezel-less display. Well, my G6 had almost no bezels. It had that rounded edge, which felt really nice. Might miss that, and that is on the S8. But other than that, I gotta say, it feels really premium, and it feels almost, I'd say, iPhone-esque. If that makes any sense. It feels very like premium, like an iPhone. When you pick it up, there's some weight to it. So I'll give you a full in-depth review on the LG G6 a little later on, and of course there's going to be a lot more Ryzen hardware stuff you know, coming up, and I want to do a review on this. Shout out to Jeffy D. He sent me a reference card, 680. So I want to see if this thing still stacks up. The top of the line card from, you know, 4 years ago. I've got a 770, which probably beats it out in my computer now, but you know, we'll fire that in there and do some benchmarks. Let you know if it's still worth buying this, because you can probably pick it up pretty cheap. But this is my first impressions and unboxing of the Bell Edition in Canada LG G6. You guys have a good day. Bah!